Well, good morning and welcome to our devotional time. We're going to continue talking about Seth in Genesis, and we're moving to Genesis chapter 5. And I'm not going to read any of or the great details there of Genesis chapter 5. I'm just going to give you the highlights here. And basically, it's telling us that there are 9 generations that go from Seth to the birth of Noah, which is going to be our next character that we're looking at here. And Noah is the 10th generation born to Adam, who lived 930 years, as scriptures say. And then, of course, chapter 5 listed his descendants there. And actually, Adam lived up until Lamech, so he never saw Adam born, but he saw these previous 9 generations born. But the promise is still there of the woman's seed that will bring salvation. So Adam and Eve heard that after their fall from grace, after humanity's fall from grace. But there's that promise there. And we talked a little bit last time, I believe, about how that seed carries through to one specific person. It's not that the other children are unimportant, but this seed is in a particular line. And so Lamech gives birth to this seed, and he recognizes that. And scriptures tell us in Genesis 5:29, at Noah's birth, he named him Noah, saying, and the meaning here, Noah, this one will bring us relief from our work, from the soil that God has cursed. From our work and from the anguish of our hands, from the soil that God has cursed. And so that's, Lamech sees the promise of God's salvation being carried forth in Noah. And so we have Noah here being birthed at just the right time, so to speak, that God is well aware of the times that we are in, and he sends people, he sends promise in that perfect time, in that right time. And we see the opposite of that as we carry through into chapter 6. We see the sons of God and the Nephilim. Your Bible might translate it the sons of God. Some translate it Nephilim. Let me just read here. It's verse 2. And the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were good, and they took themselves wives from whomever they chose. And then later, the fallen ones were on earth in those days, and also later, the sons of God had come to the daughters of man and had fathered them. The fallen ones, the Nephilim, were the mightiest ones who ever existed, men of renown. There are some translations that translate that as the Titans. So there's a lot of debate on that. I'm not going to get into it too much, but perhaps it's played out in other religions as well. These mighty men that have caused havoc in the world, and we see this before the flood here. And again, some rumors say that these are the ones that are changed, and as end time comes, they're unleashed on the earth once again. They'll be raised back up. These titans, these giants, these Nephilim. And we see a little bit of that with David and Goliath. There's some connection there as well. There's a lot of debate on that, and I don't want to get into it too much. But here's what we're facing. We're facing a world that's really gone crazy, and it just there seems to be no hope whatsoever. That things have failed so much. There's so much sin and destruction in the world at Noah's time that there's just no hope seen. But it's in that right time that Noah comes to be born to confront, by the power of God, these Nephilim, this complete rebellion, rejection of the principles of God, of I would say humanity, that people aren't even being humans anymore, and there's a judgment that comes about by that. And I think next week we'll talk about God's attitude towards the Nephilim, the seeing the ugliness that's going on in the world. And we'll pick that up again Monday. I just wanted to look a little bit at the two different sides, like we've been doing with Cain and Abel, and now we have, and then Seth and Cain, and now we have Noah in opposition to the Nephilim, the people who are rejecting God here, but seem like giants, or maybe even the Titans. And so we're setting the groundwork there. And then we're going to look at God's attitude as he sees this ugliness that's going on in the world next Monday. All right, well, you take care, and I pray God's blessings that he'll be with you. And I pray that we'll see you Sunday, either at church or on the internet. God bless. Bye now.